Is it hot in this car or is it just me? Alright, so me and my sister had a conversation about the George Zimmerman case. Now, my sister, like many people, think that George Zimmerman got off on that racial stuff. And so, like, my thoughts on this George Zimmerman case, I'm sick and tired of people, like, asking me about it and trying to change my mind about it. Here's my honest thoughts on it, alright? George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin. Do I feel that that's wrong? I do. I really do. However, the thing is, people act like this stuff doesn't happen all the time, like someone kills someone and then they get away with it. And it's like, I feel like the only reason that that this whole Trayvon Martin case is getting like this much hype is literally due to the fact that Trayvon Martin's black. Now, by no means am I saying that I feel George Zimmerman should have got away. But I feel like people have to look at this and like, you have to look at the whole thing, alright? So, to me, there wasn't enough evidence to actually show that George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin for absolutely no reason. I feel like you really have to look at the evidence to prove whether or not it was him defending himself or if it was him, just shooting him for absolutely no reason. Now, in my eyes, I feel like the whole racial thing is getting a little too played out. Because you ever realize, like, people use race for the most, like, they use race for, like, the most stupidest reasons. Like, they only use race when it's convenient. So it's like, if it has something to do with a black person being harmed by a white person, then it's race. Or if it's a white person being harmed by a black person, it's race. In my eyes, we need to get out the whole racial mindset in order to, in order for this racial stuff to at least die down. Because here's a clear-cut example. Like, racism was not created with the world. I think everyone can agree with me on that. Racism wasn't created with the world. Racism was created by man. So, the only way for racism to go away is people have to change. And people don't really like to change. And so with that said, I just feel like there's George Zimmerman cases all the time. There's cases with black people being killed by white people and the white person getting away, or black people killing white people and the black person gets away. But I feel like, as a society, we really shouldn't immediately say Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman is something about race. For all we know, Trayvon Martin could have attacked George Zimmerman. No one truly knows what happened from the time Trayvon Martin was shot, what happened in between Trayvon Martin being shot, and then George Zimmerman pursuing him. I feel like here are the wrongs of the whole case. George Zimmerman chased or pursued Trayvon Martin when he was told not to. There's one thing that's wrong. The other thing that's wrong is Zimmerman killed an unarmed person. Now, in Florida, the law, the self-defense law does say that if you feel like your life is in danger, that you do have the right to defend yourself. So, with the evidence that they got back from the body scan or whatever, that at one point Trayvon Martin rushed down George Zimmerman and he was on top of George Zimmerman at one point. I just feel like the whole case is just a big debacle. I feel that George Zimmerman should have got a sentence, but not because it was a black boy being killed by a white man. I just feel like he should have got a sentence for the simple fact that he shot an unarmed person. So, I mean, with that said, it's like, you know, oh yeah, that red car that y'all just saw, that's my neighbor. He's a mailman. But anyway, I feel like the whole racial thing just needs to stop. Like, don't say George Zimmerman deserves it because, you know, it's something racial. Like, in my eyes, if it was the other way around where it was a black man shooting a white person, I highly doubt that any black people would care. Because it's kind of like when Obama won. Like, I noticed that when Obama was you know, in the running for president, that all of a sudden I saw all of these voting campaigns and everything, and I saw it on BET, and I was like, okay, BET didn't give a darn about voting until, like, Obama was in office. So, in my eyes, I just think all the racial stuff needs to stop. Like, you know, I'm not joking, it's really hot in this car. But I feel like all of the racial stuff needs to stop. Like, people need to realize that this racial stuff isn't just, you know, it's not just blacks on whites or whites on blacks. It's all across the board. It's Asians, it's Spanish, it's black, it's white, it's Indian, it's everything. So, you know, I just feel like as a society, we should, instead of trying to break each other down and blame each other for things, we should be trying to build each other up. Because, like, racial discrimination is not just, you know, like I said, it's not just with race. It's discrimination, period. Like, you ever realize when you go to, like, high school or a school or something, it's like the jocks hang out with the jocks, the goths hang out with the goths and things like that. It's like, there's discrimination because it's like, if you're not doing what I'm doing, then I don't want to hang out with you. So, I generally feel like if we can get past discrimination, period, if we can start to accept people as they are, that we wouldn't have to deal with all this racial stuff. Now, of course, that's just my opinion. Some people don't agree with it, but hey, I'm just trying to make the world a better place.